Hi, I'm Kara Montgomery, and this is my new ruler from Creative Grids called the Perfect Rectangle. The reason it's called the Perfect Rectangle is because the base of the rectangle is always 1/2 the height of the rectangle. One of my goals in designing this ruler was to make it larger than what's currently available on the market. That way, you can cut a 9-inch finished rectangle with this ruler. This allows you to cut large pieces and larger blocks to use with the new modern quilts that we have available today and the larger print fabrics. This makes a perfect rectangle, but it's also a companion to the triangle and a square ruler. The triangle and a square ruler allows you to cut the center square that you would use in a block that fits right inside a perfect square. So this triangle and the two perfect rectangles will form a square when they're stitched together. This rectangle can be used for lots of different things. It can be done for any rectangle piece that you want in there, and because it's a perfect rectangle, when you sew two perfect rectangles next to one another, they'll form a perfect square. One of the design features that's built into the perfect rectangle are these clipped corners. The clip corners on the ruler allow you to pre-trim your dog ears so that when you're lining up your pieces for sewing, they'll line up exactly, so that you don't have to guess about where your seam allowance will be. Once they're lined up and you stitch and you open them up, they'll be perfect rectangles every single time. You can use the perfect rectangle for lots of different projects. Sewing them together mirror imaged will create sort of a tree shape. You can actually even separate them by putting a trunk in the middle for a contemporary looking tree. You can use them for interesting borders on your pieces by using the half square rectangles all along the outside edge. And this block here represents how you can use your half square rectangle to make any standard square block into a circular looking block. We've done that on this table runner. On the table runner, if you look, you'll see that inside here is a perfect 12-inch square, and this is a variable star block, although you could substitute any block of your choice. What I've done is I've created half square rectangles for along the sides and matched the backgrounds so that it creates this circular motion. In order to cut the half square rectangles, what we've done is I've taken, this is a 12-inch finished block, so I need two 6-inch half square rectangles to go along the outside. So I would cut those from a 6.5-inch strip to include my seam allowance. Sew the two together end to end and then add corner squares on my block. This allows you to expand any standard block into a much larger size. In addition, the quilt that's on the wall behind me is also a half square rectangle. This half square rectangle that's right here is 8 inches. So if you look at the quilt, this is queen size. The larger my rectangles, the fewer pieces I have to make for my quilt. So I can make a quilt for a much larger queen or king size bed with fewer number of pieces. The Perfect Rectangle Ruler is part of 5 new triangles in a series from Creative Grids. It's also the companion to the Triangle and a Square Ruler. The Triangle and a Square Ruler forms the center of the square, and the Perfect Rectangle forms the corners. I hope you look for these at your local independent quilt shop. Thank you.